What up, followers? Hey, this is Josh Falk. Hey, so let's just cut to the chase. December 2018 marked 2 years of using Fire Rescue Fitness. Down below, you'll read about it, but why not hear it from the man himself? See you on the other side. Okay, now, so December 2018 marked my 2-year journey with Fire Rescue Fitness. It's been a long journey. It's 115 pounds and counting. But to know why I started Fire Rescue Fitness, you really need to know my backstory. So in 2005, I graduated high school. Okay, I weighed anywhere between 200 and 210. I didn't pack a six-pack for no means, but that's what I was doing. I was running about 7.5, 8-minute miles, okay, depending on the day. But leading up to that, after going through that, I tried to get in shape. I didn't really have any structural workouts. Fast forward ahead 3 years ago, 3 years after that, 2008. I'd already gained a little bit of the weight back, a little bit more weight. I was at roughly about 230 pounds when I graduated college. Now, I was still running, but I was still somewhere around 10-minute to 12-minute miles. I lost a little bit of my fitness. After graduating, I started traveling. I lived in Chicago, El Paso, Texas, Denver, Colorado, and moved back to Illinois and moved into Springfield. Now I'm back home down around the Effingham area. So anyways, during that time, I kept creeping up in weight. I ended up, about in 2011, I was about 310 pounds. I continued to gain. I got comfy with how I was. I decided that the system was rigged against me. There was no way for me to fix it. I tried shakes. I'd lose a little bit. At one time, I got down to 270, and I gained it all back. And then I gained more. Creeping all the way up to the 425-pound mark in roughly December 2016 to January 2017. January 2017, that kind of brings us to the starting point. And if you read my story, I go into a little bit more detail, and that's up to you if you want to go read all that. But reason I found Fire Rescue Fitness is because I started looking. I just completed Basic Academy, which was tough for a guy my size. I won't sell that short. It was tough. So I ran across some different fire workouts. There was very few that I was surprised that were made by firefighters, for firefighters. I knew I needed to find some reason to work out, and that started to be my reason, is to get in better shape to serve the community. So I ended up, going back into October 2016, I ran across Fire Rescue Fitness. I started doing some research, which is part of the things I like to do, is I like to research up. I started looking into the YouTube. He had all the YouTube videos on. Made it pretty simple. Done some reading on it. He had an ultimate. He had a rapid fat loss. He had foundations. He had one at that time for Achieve. He had a little bit of everything. I got to do a little bit more digging. I found out he completed an Ironman. Aaron Zamzow, I ended up messaging him, asking a few questions, and found out it was an ebook. So I went ahead and purchased in November 2016. And yes, I was one of them that sent an email to him saying, hey, I couldn't log in. Well, I couldn't get my stuff, and I missed the email and went to my spam. Imagine that. Hotmail. But anyways, went to start working out with it. I started to set my plan. In December, I decided December was my last free month, basically. December was the last time I was going to set my date, and that was it. So I started reading a lot of the material over the next month. I started reading the nutrition. Okay, I didn't take it all in at once. I read it a lot. Aaron adds a lot of information into his workouts and fitness plans. And it's one of those things, as I was reading it, I was more sipping on it. I'd sip a little bit and I'd go back and I'd incorporate it. And I'd think about it. How was I going to address that? I'd read a little bit more. How am I going to address that? How am I going to implement that? So by Christmas, I'd set out that I was going to start the first week, since I was nearly drinking 2 liters of soda a day, and sometimes more, that I was going to need 1 whole week to just adjust to this new eating style, just to basically clean myself out, to get myself flushed out, so to say, with water. So that first week, I focused on eating and cutting the sugar. Eating better, cutting the sugar. And just by doing that, just cutting out soda altogether and cleaning up my eating, not even doing a workout. I didn't even work out that first week, guys. I lost 10 pounds. 10 pounds in 1 week. No, I hadn't been to the doctor yet. Okay. I went to the doctor. If you follow my story, went to the doctor. I weighed in about 318 at that time, 315, 318, somewhere in there. 318 with clothes on, of course, but 315 with no added weight to me. So after speaking with doctor, I got told basically, Josh, you're heading down a road that you don't want to. You're heading on a road that by the time you are in your 31, whenever you're 31 years old, you're going to be on blood pressure medicine, heart medicine, and I'm going to have to medically call you pre-diabetic. Okay, that set me off. So it set me into starting my workouts that next week. I went to the doctor, I believe, on a Monday. I started my workouts that Monday. Started working out. So I completed 1 round. At that time, Ultimate was 12 weeks long. I completed a 12-week program, okay, and I lost 50 pounds. Great, awesome. May of 2017, I was 50 pounds lighter. I was hanging around that 275 mark. That's awesome. Over the next 6 months, I would try different pills, different eating styles, different proteins, different shakes, and it slowly crept up back on me. I would take some different multivitamins. I found myself becoming more hungry from them because now I would have that and my body wanted more all the time. So I ended up coming in at a whopping 399.8 in January 2018. Okay, January 2018, I set out, I'd let all this creep back up. It was time to take and address my errors, okay, to fix my problems. So I set up to do the Fitness FRF Challenge for a second year. After winning it in 2017, I decided I was going to do it again. This time, I wasn't going to gain half of it back. I knew what errors I was making, and I needed to correct it. I had to decide that it was a life change versus a temporary change. So I set out to do that. At the same time, our firehouse decided that we were going to do a 6-month contest based on BMI. So with that being said, I decided that I was going to do 24 weeks solid of Fire Rescue Fitness Ultimate. I done 2 12-week rounds back to back. Didn't take a week off. Went right into the next one. As soon as I got the 3rd month done, I rolled right back to the 1st month. I ended up after the first 3 months, I'd lost 50 pounds again. So now I'm sitting at 349.8. So in the firehouse, somebody made the joke of, hey, you're trying for 100 pounds, aren't you? Challenge. So fast forward 3 more months, I completed another round of Ultimate. And I really haven't said this on my blogs, but I weighed in at 298.6. I'd lost 101.2 pounds in 6 months. Now, that 298.6, the reason why I haven't talked about it too much is because I was unhealthy at that weight. I hadn't lost it appropriately. So by doing that, I decided that in the end, I couldn't claim that as a victory. It was a temporary thing. So I rehydrated, I renutritioned. I worked my butt off the last week watching everything I ate to get it down to that weight. And that wasn't just healthy watching what I was eating. It was you have to eat this, you have to eat that, and sticking to it based on the weight that I was consuming. So I settled up at 310 pounds. Now, that's where you guys hear me, 115 pounds and counting. I could be under 300 pounds by the end of the week if I had to. If I had some reason to be there, I would be. But I'm not. I wanted to sustain and show myself that I had done the life change versus a temporary change. So I'm sitting at 310 pounds right now, but that's 115 pounds. And I've kept that over 5-6 months now, constant weight. Okay. It was a life change. This time I know I changed my life. I know I changed my styles of eating. I know I've changed everything about it. So I'm confident that's not going to come back because I'm focused on staying fit. But with that, I credit my success to the support of those around me, my family, especially my wife, for putting up with the life changes of grocery shopping, obviously, because we don't have that many sweets in the house. Okay, and when she does, she hides them. I know she does. Yeah, Oreos. I can't. No. Anyways, also Aaron Zamzow, of course, for his workouts and nutrition with Fire Rescue Fitness. Without his programs and without his fitness programs for firefighters by a firefighter, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And of course, to those of you who follow me in the Get FRF crew, thank you for following me. You motivate me every day whenever I see your guys' posts and comments back. I'm motivated basically around everybody that's around me. Let's just say I think it's best said by Clement Stone. You are a product of your environment. So choose the environment that will best develop you toward your objective, and analyze your life in the terms of its environment. And have you created the environment you will succeed? And remember, this isn't a short-term thing. Oh, wait a second, I jumped lines. My bad. Rewind. Okay, so I think it's best said by Clement Stone. You are a product of your environment, so choose the environment that will best develop you toward your objective. Analyze your life in the terms of its environment, and are the things around you helping you toward success, or are they holding you back? There's nothing holding you back. Just remember, once you've created that environment, you will succeed. And remember, I mean, once I created it, I'm succeeding here. And there's no finish line, okay? I mean, that's it. You gotta change for life, or other than it's gonna come back. Okay, if you're not changing, and let me tell you this before I go, you gotta submit to the change. Otherwise, you're better off not even starting. Because if you're not willing to make the life change in the end, you're going to be back to where you started the second that you stop. So every time I see a post of somebody going, oh, what about diet soda? Don't drink diet soda. Okay, artificial sweeteners in that. Okay, but I only want 1 soda a week. Okay, well then you're not doing what it's going to take to stay in shape. But with that, I leave you guys. Hopefully this motivates somebody out there. Hopefully keep following me. I'll be over on the crew, Get FRF crew. I'm doing some cool things over there. Started my coaching. Okay, to those of you that I'm following, keeping coaching, kind of doing some accountability and giving some guidance. Love hearing from you guys. I'll stay in contact. Other than that, have a good week, everybody. Get FRF.